Well, here's my question today. Got milk? We're moving along in the book of 1 Peter, and we're looking at how he is instructing us, basically regarding the issue of persecutions and temptations and problems that come up in our lives. We've all got questions when these issues come up. Whenever persecution happens, whenever problems happen, whenever sickness happens, whenever the things that are unexplainable to us, whenever those happen, and we encounter them all the time, the questions arise, and 1 Peter is our answer to that. 1 Peter tells us so much about how we can handle this, because that's who he was writing to. He was writing to Christians that are scattered over a whole region, and they were beginning to be persecuted in their communities, by their government, for all kinds of reasons. They were blaming all kinds of things on them, and they were persecuting them because they were standing out and taking stands for God, saying that they believed in God, they believed in Jesus, and that Jesus was the only way and the better way. People seem to be okay with, you can believe whatever you want to as long as it doesn't impact me, as long as you'll keep your beliefs to yourself, and as long as you keep them with you, you do you, and I'll do me, and then we'll be fine. And you can believe in this, and I'll believe in this, and that's your truth, and this is my truth. And as long as we can get along, if you don't think that yours is the only way, as long as you don't think that yours is the only true thing, as long as mine can be true too, then everybody can be kind of happy with that. But as Christians, we stand up against all of that by saying Jesus is the only way. There is only one truth, and that truth is in the person of Jesus. Jesus is the truth. Nothing else is true. Only Jesus is true. So when we make these exclusive statements like that, it's not that we're trying to exclude anybody. It's just a statement of fact that we want to include you. We want to include everyone with this offer of the gospel, which goes out to everyone, goes out to the whole world. You can believe in Jesus. You can get in on this plan, but it's only available through Jesus. That's the only avenue toward heaven that is available to us. So, when we think about all the persecutions that have come up, mainly for them because of their Christian stance, because of the way they were expressing their religion, their faith in Jesus, it is kind of leaked over. What happened to Jesus leaks onto the people that believe in Jesus, right? He says that in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are you if you are persecuted for righteousness' sake. If you're persecuted in my name. Okay, so these things that they did to Jesus, we identify with Jesus, we're going to catch some of that as well, for sure. So, he tells us here in chapter 2, one of the ways to deal with this is laying aside all malice, deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and evil speaking, as newborn babes, desire the pure milk of the word in order that you may grow thereby, if indeed that if you have tasted that the Lord is good. So, when facing spiritual persecution, we can't act naturally. We have to act spiritually. We have to rely upon our spiritual maturity. Because when people get on us, when people would come up and persecute us for something, or they want to start a fight or accuse us of something, naturally, we're going to want to rail against that. We're going to want to get our back up and fight back. We're going to want to stand up, and we're going to want to push back. If someone pushes, we're going to want to stand up and push back in some way, right? And that's a general, natural reaction. We're going to be filled with some of these attitudes. that he tells us right off the bat, you got to put them aside. You got to put that away because that's not going to fit the bill here. It tells us 5 things that are natural reactions. And these 5 things, we got to put them aside. So you got to put these off. Because if you're going to deal with persecutions in a godly way, if you're going to make a stand for Jesus, then you can't be fighting on your own strength. If you're going to say that you belong to me, then you're going to have to behave and let me handle this, behave the way that I would, react the way that I would. And so Jesus is telling us that spiritual maturity is going to win the day, not your natural reaction. Naturally, we would want to be filled with malice. Okay? That's getting mad at somebody. Thinking bad about somebody, that's malice. Thinking bad is going to make us angry, it's going to make us upset. You got to put all that away. Okay? Persecutions are going to come. The life is going to happen. The issues that are going to rise for you this week. What you need to say is, Lord, I need you. Every hour I need you. This coming week, if you memorize that song that we just sang, at least that part of it, there's going to be something happen this week that you can remember right now. Oh, I'm supposed to say, Lord, I need you. Every hour I need you. It's going to come on. Because once we commit to saying that when the need arises, we're going to see just how often we can tell God, oh, Lord, I need you. I need your help right now. I need you to guide me in this hour, in this day. Every hour I need you. There's going to be hours that come up that you need to say that. Put away the malice. Put it away. It's not going to help. Or deceit. Deceit, this is lying. We're going to be lie about this. We're going to not be truthful about the way that we want to handle something. And, the first person that we lie to is always God. Because he knows exactly what we're thinking. He knows our heart. And we go down to pray, and we don't have that pure heart, we don't have that clean heart, then we need to stop right there in our prayer and say, Lord, what he said in Psalms, created me a clean heart, O God. Renew a right spirit within me. Prayers need to have that, don't they? That we need to tell God, oh, I'm sorry, my heart is not the way it should be. I need to fix my heart. And we'll continue this conversation. Created me a clean heart. Renew that right spirit within me. Put away this deceit that's in me. So there's another thing to put away. How about this one? Put away this one. Hypocrisy. It tells us we've got to put that away. Hypocrisy. Let me tell you a little bit about what is hypocrisy. This is a word that was borrowed from Hollywood. Well, of course not Hollywood. They didn't have Hollywood back in the ancient world in Greece. But they had stages. They had actors, and they did plays. And the people that would act up on stage, when they were pretending to be somebody else, they would wear a mask. That's their costume. And they would have to say their lines speaking out under the mask. So hypocrisy is speaking under. You're speaking out under the mask because that's not really you. You're pretending to be somebody else. That's not who you really are. You're saying this as if you're in character, right? So a hypocrite is someone who says one thing, but that's not really who they are. That's not really them. They're just putting on that mask. They're speaking out in character like they were somebody else, right? Basically, they're just lying to you. They're not being true to who they are. They are saying one thing and doing something else, right? What they do is not matching up with what they say because they're just actors on a stage. That's a hypocrite. Okay? Keep that in mind whenever you see an actor trying to discuss economics or foreign policy or anything like that. Keep in mind, these people lie for a living. They make their whole industry pretending something else. And I love pretending. Pretending is fun. And you see kids pretend all the time. It's not who they really are. So just keep that in mind whenever people are they've got the mask and they're speaking out. And also keep that in mind when you see somebody that you know that they need Jesus. And yet they're talking like they know better. Like they talk like they do, but you know that they don't. We have to keep that in mind for ourselves as well. Making sure I am not speaking under my mask. Making sure I'm not just putting on my Christian mask and saying what I'm supposed to, and then on the inside, I've still got that dirty heart. I need to get cleansed from. I need to say, Jesus created me that clean heart. Because I don't want to be saying something then that's not who I am. I want people to know exactly who I am. And make that the best reflection of Jesus that I can be. That's what we have to put aside, that hypocrisy. Put that aside. And when problems come up, it's only natural to start thinking, oh, I wish that this didn't happen to me. I wish I could be like them because their life is so good and they got all this other stuff. And all the problems that I'm dealing with, they don't have any of that. How come I can't be like that? Envy. Envy. We've got to put that envy aside, don't we? Yeah. Every one of us has a different road that God has put us on. We have a different tack that we have to take. My life is not going to be your life. Your life is not going to be the next person's life. So I can't look and say, you should do it like I'm doing my life. Or I wish my life was as easy as your life. Right? And this hits everybody, all of us. It certainly hits me. I look around and see some people think, how come I can't be like that? How come I can't do that? You realize God has got a different road for me to walk. He's got a different road for you to walk. And He has arranged all of that. He's going to take care of everything you need. He's going to give you Himself the way He gives everybody Himself. He's going to take care of everything. He's going to provide for you. So these, whatever issues and persecutions you're facing, don't be envious of people that aren't facing. You don't know what they're dealing with either. You may not like that road if you were to jump onto their road. You may realize, oh, I didn't want to be on this road after all. Right? Keep that in mind. Put away that envy. And evil speaking. You got to put away evil speaking. Now this one, when we have the phrase evil speaking, that's kind of a small area in our mind. We think of this as, well, I just don't have to say ugly things to anybody, then I'll be good on this. I can do this one. That's not that hard to do. But when you roll this back and you realize what that word actually is under there that we're supposed to put aside, it's actually literally down speaking. Down speaking. Don't talk down to anybody. Don't put them down with your speaking. Don't talk down to them. What is the term now? Is mansplaining, right? Don't mansplain, even if it's not to men, right? Don't talk down to people. That's evil speaking. What he's saying here is don't speak down towards someone else. Put them down, because you realize the only way you can talk down to somebody is by putting yourself up. We can't do that. That's one of the things you just got to put that aside. You can't think that your situation, you're better than somebody else, and so you're going to put them down and talk down to them. Don't do that. The Bible doesn't want us to be doing that. So put all that away. Put away the evil speaking, the hypocrisy, the malice, the deceit, the envy. And instead, now we've got a boy. If you put all that aside, you put all your natural reactions away, now you're stuck with a big emptiness. What are you going to do instead? How are you going to fill that gap in your life? Well, I'm not supposed to do all these things that I've done all my life. I'm not supposed to react the way I always have. What am I supposed to do now? Well, now you're supposed to fill that void with the craving for Christ. Here it says, as newborn babes, desire the pure milk of the Word. See how it says that? Newborn babes. This word's only in the Bible twice. Newborn babes. Once is in the Christmas story when Jesus was a baby. And once is right here. We're supposed to be just like those babies. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about babies. But I'll tell you this that I know about babies. Babies get hungry. They do. They get hungry. And when babies get hungry, they'll cry. And me, I've really got when I'm dealing with babies, I've really only got two go-to solutions. I'm holding a baby and it's crying, well, he's hungry, or needs a new diaper. That's about it. Anything else, I'm kind of out of my element. So I know babies might get hungry. And babies do get hungry, and what happens when they're hungry? They crave milk. They desire milk. They need milk in order to grow. They know they're hungry. They can't express it. Little babies can't say, by the way, Father, I would like some more milk. Could you warm it up for me, please? They just cry. So I just take it all as, oh, he must be hungry. No, it's got to be something else. Well, that's just where I go to first. Babies get hungry, and I know that about babies, and the Bible tells us we're supposed to be like that. Now, there's other places in the Bible where he's talking about us wanting to have milk. In a different situation, he's saying, you need to grow up and quit drinking milk. You need to have solid food. He tells that in another part of the Bible. But right here, what he's talking about is the idea that we need to have that craving for God and for His Word, just the same way that babies crave milk, that they desire milk. The way that babies want milk, that's the way we need to desire God and His Word. A couple of these songs that we think about. Remember this one that we sing? As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after thee. Think about that. Thinking about the deer coming down to drink water, going after water. Okay? We've had deer in our yard a couple of times. We live right on the side of that mountain. They'll hop over our backyard occasionally when the mountain is dry and we've got water in our flower bed. They'll jump over and crave that water, won't they? The deer longs for water. That's the way our soul needs to long for God. Our Psalm 63, O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and weary place where there is no water. We need to long for God like that. We need, like the baby, to desire that pure milk of the Word. Right? Pure milk of the Word. That's what we desire. You realize that all that stuff that we're supposed to put away, the sin life, the evil speaking, the malice, the deceit, if we don't put that aside, that's going to destroy our desire for God's Word. The sin life is going to destroy our desire for God's Word. When we're living with malice and hypocrisy and evil speaking, when we're just keeping all of that bottled up inside, we're not going to want God's Word. But when that's all put aside, we're desiring, oh God, I got to hear from you. I need to know God's Word, and I need to have it every day. I just can't live without it. I've got to have God's Word. And we're supposed to desire the pure milk. It's interesting when I looked at this, that the word pure is opposite of the word deceit. The word is just one and then doulos and then adulos. So one is opposite, not doulos, but it's actually just the opposite. So if we are not having the pure, unadulterated Word of God, then we're being deceitful. Right? If we're deciding to switch this around to where it's more palatable, then that's just like lying. Pure milk of God's Word means that nothing is added to God's Word. We don't get to stick anything in there just because we think it's going to make it better. Right? What do they put in the milk? Pumpkin spice. Don't have pumpkin spice Bible. Adding stuff to God's Word. Chocolate syrup. Don't have chocolate syrup Bible, where we just make everything sweet and taste good and exactly this is all that we need. You need the pure milk of God's Word. Don't need to add anything to God's Word to make it say what He wants it to say. God knows what He wants it to say. He's got that message for you. You take God's Word exactly as it is and you put it in your life. Pure, unadulterated Word. And you don't take anything out. That's how you keep something pure. You don't add anything in. You don't take anything out. What do they take out of milk? Mainly the thing they take out is all the yummy milk fat, right? They spin it around to scoop it off, and then you've got skim milk. You've got a bowl of cereal with white water in it. You don't have real milk. That's not pure milk, right? You want pure milk. Nothing taken out, nothing added in. We don't want skim Bible, right? We don't want 2% God's Word. We want pure, unadulterated Scripture going in, the pure Word of God. And if we don't have that, then we're getting things wrong, and it's deception. It's pure and simple. We try to switch things around in God's Word and twist them, leave out the parts that we don't like, then we're lying to ourselves, we're lying to God, we're lying to anybody else that listens to us. Take God's Word in its pure form, read it, soak it in, like a deer's thirsty for water. We need to thirst for the things of God, just like that, because that's how we're going to grow. He says, do all of this, desire that pure milk of the Word, so that by the Word, you can grow, you can increase in your salvation. That doesn't mean you're going to get more and more saved. That means you're going to get closer to Christ in your salvation. That means you're going to grow deeper in your walk with Christ. As you take His Word in, that means that throughout this week, instead of acting naturally and getting mad and getting envious and evil speaking, instead of doing all that, you're going to be more geared towards saying, Lord, I need you. I need you this hour. I need you. Being able to put that in your life. Then you're going to grow in your salvation. You're going to get bigger. You want babies to grow, right? Okay. I've always been guilty of this. When our friends would call me and tell me they had a baby, I would say, I'd pass on the great news to my wife. Hey, our friend Bill, he had a baby. He and his wife had a baby. And I wouldn't get enough information. And she would, oh good. How big is it? I don't know. How much does it weigh? I don't know. Then sometimes, is it a boy or a girl? Well, I'm sure it was one of them, but I didn't ask. To me, after they said they had a baby, that's the end of the conversation. But no, they mark them down. The doctors record that, right? How long is this baby? How much this baby weighs? And they remember that. And then when you go see that doctor again, they're going to look at those numbers, right? This baby was 21 inches a month ago, and now it's still 21 inches. Oh, we got a problem. This baby's not growing. This baby was 7 pounds, and now it's 6.5 pounds. Problem, this baby's not growing. Not getting enough milk. Not getting enough milk. There's something is wrong if the baby is not growing. Like that, when we desire God's Word, we're going to grow. When we have God's Word going into our hearts, changing us the way we live so that the natural reactions of evil speaking and malice and hypocrisy, and all that stuff gets rooted out and God's word gets put in, we're going to be growing deeper. The next time we see Jesus, next time we spend time with him, we realize, oh, she is growing. He is growing. And that's because of God's word. God wants us to grow. That's part of our foundational words here. We're a growing community in Christ. It's every one of us needs to be growing. It doesn't matter how long you've been a Christian. Doesn't matter how many times you've read through the Bible. You're not done. Okay? Doesn't matter how many generations have been following Jesus in your family. You're not done. We all need to be growing. The road that I'm on, the road that you're on, it all needs to be growing closer to God, closer to Jesus, day by day. Let's pray. Jesus, we love you so much, and we desire for you to be in our lives. We need you. We need you every hour. We need you this hour. Help us to develop this desire for you and for your word so that we can